Hello, fellow Brick fanatics. DJ Bricks here, back for another review. And before we get started, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, if you like my content, and be sure to ring that bell so you're actually notified of whenever I upload new content, because YouTube kind of sucks at that. And getting into today's video, I have a Lego Eternal set, the smallest in the wave, for 2021 here. These sets we've known about for a long time, but because the movie got delayed, these sets did. But getting into it, it is set number 676145. Is the Eternals Aerial Assault. It comes with 133 pieces. It's recommended for building ages 7 and up. And here in the US, it retails for about $10. But yeah, it is the smallest of the wave. It's the only one to include the Eternals member of Sprite. You get Ikaris as well. You get a little nice deviant build, but let's start getting into the set, deconstructing it to see how it stacks up, starting as always with the minifigures. Before we get into the minifigures proper, you do get a pearl gold katana and a couple of size. These are not included, pictured on the box anywhere, nor are they included in the actual building instructions. They are included in the parts inventory, but it's not really made clear what you're supposed to do with these. I guess you're supposed to give them to the figures that come in the set to kind of replicate the Eternals' ability to just make weapons out of thin air with energy that we've seen in all the trailers and TV spots. So I guess that's what they're going for. But again, these aren't really included anywhere on the box or in the instructions aside from the parts inventory. So not really sure. Lego didn't really make clear what you're supposed to do with these, so let's get into the minifigures proper now. So we're going to start off by looking at Sprite, who is exclusive to the set. She does use the short legs in teal, and her entire suit is actually teal. I would have liked to have seen mid legs used on her because she's short and she's childlike, but she's not that short, so at least compared to the other Eternals. So I would have liked to have seen mid legs there. Big missed opportunity for that. Otherwise, torso print is very nice. Does replicate what we've seen so far for the movie very nicely. There's a nice print to it, a nice little bit of shine with the silver. And she does have some nice back printing as well. For her head and hair, she comes with that standard Mutt Williams hair in orange, which I think the Harry Potter hair would have worked way better for her hair in the movie, but maybe Lego was dealing with concept art here. Very big possibility. And again, dealing with that concept art and figures being needed to make, they probably didn't have the actress's likeness right, so they just used Hermione's head from the recent Harry Potter sets, the young one, for her. So again, it's a very nice figure. It's just really would have liked to have seen mid legs here, and she doesn't come with any accessories. And second figure in the set is Ikaris. He's not really special. He does come in like 3 other sets, so this is pretty much the cheapest way to get him. He does come with accessories for the set. He does come with the orange Power Blast pieces, which, if you haven't seen those before, you just pretty much just push it, it'll fire off. They do give you extras if you need it, if you lose it like I just did. But going over the actual figure now, he does have some nice leg printing. We so rarely get that with Marvel sets, so they did go all the way down to his legs with his torso print, and he does have some nice torso printing too. It's not really accurate fully to the movie, but it's pretty darn close. So again, maybe they were working with concept art here. Again, you can easily tell that by they used like this medium nougat hair color for Ikaris, which he has dark brown hair in the movie, so again, maybe concept art. And then for his head, they just used the Alden Ehrenreich Han Solo head, so we don't even get a secondary face with some heat vision, so that kind of sucks. I would have liked to have seen them reuse maybe Superman's head from the DC sets. That would have been way more preferable, so we can at least get some representation of his powers, but that's fine enough. So that does it for the figures. Let's move on to the actual build. Taking a look at the main build of the set, it's just a small little build of a deviant. Talking about the build here for a little bit, it went together pretty quickly. It was a very straightforward build. It's just a lot of repeating, just due to symmetry of the figure and whatnot. A little bit tedious with these wings here. And the color scheme here, I think Lego did a really good job. I mean, it's a really weird color scheme from the movie, just this teal and dark blue and red and sand green. It's not really that great of a color combo, but I think the Lego designer used it pretty effectively here, and the build was pretty enjoyable for it. You do have these wings here, which by far were the most annoying part of this, just putting them together. And then you have this really nice technique here where you use a clip and a hinge here just to make the abdomen of the figure really nicely. And it's a pretty nice little build, as well as the shaping here on the torso. You do get a handful of stickers here. Pretty much the head is a print, but everything else here is a sticker. So you get stickers there, a sticker on the lower part of the body, and then you get a couple stickers on the thighs there. It's kind of a spindly little build, but going over articulation, you can put the wings back and forth, and then you can pose each individual of these little feathers. These are really nice too. I don't know if I mentioned that, but these are like that new kind of a shimmery iridescent part color that they introduced this year. So that's pretty nice. You also get some articulation up at the head. It can move up and down. You do have a droid head used here to make up the head, so that is clipped there, but you can move it, but it does break up the build a little bit, so you can move it up and down like that. You got a nice little ball shoulder joint here, though it's kind of weirdly connected here, so watch. So this thing, if you're moving it around a lot, it does do that. It does come off the little peg hook thing that they bolt that they use there. So I'm not a fan of that. I wish they would have used a couple pieces here to cap these off so they stay on a little bit better. But you do get some nice hinge at the elbow here, and then you do get nice part usage of the Wolverine claw piece in pearl gold here, and because of how it's built, you do get a nice range of motion here. And then you get some range of motion here at the knee. These knees are a little bit offset just to give a little bit of misshape to the figure. But it does make standing him a bit of a chore. So so that's a thing to watch out for as well. And then the feet, just you get some nice forward and back, but you don't get that much. You get some side to side, but you won't get a lot of ankle movement. Then looking at this thing from the back, you do have these talons here that are opposable if you want to. They just move up and down. And then you get another one of those iridescent pieces there. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward for a nice little $10 build. Does have a few bit of flaws, but all in all, I think the designer did the best that they could here, and it is a fun little set. So let's move on to looking at the box and the extra pieces and instructions. I'll meet you back up for my final verdict. Looking at the extra pieces here, you do get some interesting mixed in with some pretty standard. You do get an extra Power Blast piece in orange for Ikaris there, and pretty standard. You do get a couple cheese slopes and a couple different colors, an extra stud with a hole in it, extra barb piece, extra sai, an extra one of the Wolverine claws in pearl gold there, an extra one of those black tubing pieces, and you do get an extra one of those new tendril pieces that we've started getting this year in that nice iridescent color. So that is pretty nice. So that does it for the extra pieces. So looking at the instructions, front cover here, pretty standard with box art just simplified down, as well as that old school like QR logo, because this was supposed to come out last year. Opening it up, you do get the QR code, little blurb, as well as build it one bag at a time thing. Interestingly enough, you have the cross sell for all the Eternal sets way before you even build the set. Normally that's way in the back here, but you know, yeah, so you get the cross sell and then you get into building the minifigures here. So and then you get into building the actual set, and that takes you 71 pages of building to build the whole thing. And back a couple pages, cross sell for the 2020 summer sets for Marvel, for Avengers and Spider-Man, since again this was supposed to come out last year, so that would make sense for the cross sells. Then you got the parts inventory, and then you got the win on the back there. Alright, so looking at the box, it's at standard $10 small size. For the front, we got the Lego logo with the Marvel Eternals movie. You got a nice border for all the Eternals merch with all the members of the Eternals here in the corner. Set specs on the side. A nice little minifigure call out down there with E for Eternals. On the side of the box, you got a nice Legofication of Ikaris and Sprite. And on the top of the box, you actually have Sprite sporting the actual size reference. And then on the back of the box, you just have another image of the set in action with some nice background detailing. So pretty standard for the box. So going over my final thoughts, build wise, the Deviant is very nicely constructed. It does use some nice parts and uses a nice couple techniques that surprised me. Some of the build is spindly though, and it can't really stand in certain poses. And again, those wings are kind of a pain to put together and a pain to keep centered and whatnot. But they are nice. They do use a nice little piece there. So builds kind of a hit and miss there. Figure wise, usual complaints of I've seen of inaccuracy, but again, Lego was probably looking at concept art here. The actors probably didn't sign on for their likenesses by the time Lego was making these figures, so that probably explains the heads, but torsos are very nicely done. Only real complaint I have, legitimate complaint, is with Sprite. I feel like she should have used the mid legs, not the short legs, but that does it for the figures. Quality wise, the instructions, having that random cross-out page before you build the figures, that was kind of weird to me. And also the lack of explaining what those extra gold weapons were for. It's nowhere in the box, it's nowhere in the instructions, it's nowhere advertised anywhere, but they are included, they are in the part inventory, but I would have liked to have seen some semblance of explaining what kids are supposed to do with those. I suppose imagination, but I would have liked to have seen that on the box somewhere, explaining that or showing that. And then price, $10 for this. I think it's a great deal. I think this is a good set for $10. You get a nice little build. You get two figures from the movie. You get one of the main characters, really main characters from the movie, and think that this is a great deal for $10, and all in all, the set's going to get a 7.5 out of 10 from me. That does it for this review, and comment below, let me know what you think about the set down in the comments there. I always look forward to having interactions with you guys, and until next time, keep building.